Alright, you lot, strap yourselves in, because today we're diving headfirst into a game that'll have you questioning your life choices, shouting at your screen, and wondering why hell you thought it were a good idea to play this in first place. That's right, we're reviewing Dark Room. If you ever wanted to experience a game that punishes you for simply existing, then oh boy, you're in for a treat. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that bollocks. It helps the channel grow and keeps me ranting for your amusement. Now, let's get into it.
We are about to play a game. A game that is super easy, ha! Like your mum. A game like the text-based adventure games from the 1980s. And if you've ever played a text-based adventure game, you know there are two words that shouldn't have been in that sentence. And they are adventure and game. The rules are simple. Rule 1, find the light switch. Rule 2, find your family. Rule 3, escape the dark room! If you succeed, you will be reunited with your loving, attractive, unmutilated brethren and win this beautiful flamboyant potato. But if you fail, you die, you die, you die, you die!
Right, let's kick things off with an overview at Dark Room. First things first, what hell is this game, and why should you care? Well, Dark Room ain't your typical shooter or RPG. It's an interactive text-based comedy horror experience with twisted sensory humour that borders on sadistic. You're thrown into a pitch-black void and berated by a narrator who, quite frankly, seems to enjoy watching you fail. It's part video game, part comedy roast, and all chaos. Premise? Simple on paper, survive and escape Dark Room. Execution? A nightmare wrapped in sarcasm and seasoned with pure absurdity. Think of it as if Monty Python decided to make a game after watching Saw. You'll be navigating branching text choices, and let me tell you, every choice feels like a trap. Select wrong 'un and you're met with insults, ridicule and death. Select right 'un, still death, but with slightly less mockery. For some context, this game is digital adaptation of John Robertson's cult classic comedy show at same name. If you've ever seen his live performances, you'll know what to expect. Quick wit, relentless roasting, and enough dark humour to make you ambush. Gameplay-wise, it's like playing a roguelite, where you never feel like you're making progress, but you can't stop trying. You're teased with idea of victory, but deep down, you know you're here to be humiliated. And it's bloody brilliant. If I had to compare it to all, I'd say it's like a sadistic choose-your-own adventure book mixed with Snarker Stanley parable. It's not about winning. It's about surviving abuse long enough to laugh at yourself. And let's be honest, you deserve it. So who's this game for? Fans of dark comedy, masochists, and anyone who appreciates a good insult. If you're expecting an FPS, turn back now. This is about clever writing and embracing chaos, not blowing stuff up. But rest of us, it's a weirdly addictive experience that'll make you laugh, scream and cry, sometimes all at once. Now let's talk about graphics. Or as I like to call them in this case, the graphics. Calling Dark Room a visual masterpiece would be like calling Marmite universally loved. It's simply not point. The game's intentionally minimalist, with its visuals designed to keep you in that claustrophobic black void. You got some basic text, occasional splash of colour, and a narrator's haunting mug occasionally popping up to remind you that you're completely and utterly screwed. And yet somehow it works. It's not about flashy visuals, dear. It's about atmosphere. Oppressive darkness, broken only by sharp text or ominous flicker of light. Does an excellent job of making you feel completely lost and at mercy at game's sadistic whims. Simplicity is part of charm. Like developers are saying, yeah, we could have done more, but we're here to mess with you, not dazzle you. And to be fair, they've nailed it. That said, art direction, if you can call it that, is spot on for the team. Narrator's face is like a slapping face, overly dramatic, hilariously overacted, and intentionally unsettling. It's kind of mug you'd expect to find on a mad scientist who's just figured out how to end world with a biscuit tin. Every pixel of his smirk radiates, "You're gonna die, and I'm gonna enjoy every second of it." Now let's address elephant in room. This game's unapologetically low budget. If you're here for photorealistic graphics, you've wandered into wrong pub, mate. But honestly, that's not point. Sparse design shifts focus to narration and players' choices. It's a throwback to text-based games are old, but with modern humour injected directly into its veins. If old, simplicity is what makes insults hit harder. It's like they stripped away everything to leave you with naught but abuse. Now I will say this, visual presentation ain't going to be everyone's cup of tea. Yet so too needs explosions, ray-traced reflections and lens flares every 2 seconds. You'll be crying into your RGB keyboards within minutes. But for those of us who appreciate a unique artistic direction, or who just want to be insulted while staring into void, it's perfect. So in summary, no, it's not Crisis, but it's not trying to be. Graphics are basic but effective, with an art style that perfectly complements the game's dark, twisted tone. Let's move on to what really matters. How does this thing actually play? Spoiler alert, it doesn't hold your hand. It slaps it away and laughs at you. Now if you're expecting fast-paced combat or silky smooth parkour mechanics, you've clearly come to the wrong dungeon, my friend. This ain't that kind of game. What Darkroom does instead is strip away all fluff and boil everything down to brutal text-based decision-making experience where every choice feels like a personal attack. Gameplay looks simple. You're presented with a choice, and you pick one. Easy, right? Wrong. Because every single option feels like a bloody trap. Left, right, forward, stay still, wherever you pick, game slaps you in the face, calls you a moron, and then finds new and creative ways to kill you. It's like being in an abusive relationship with a game, but somehow you keep coming back for more. Controls? Well, if you can click a mouse or press a button, you're fully qualified to play. This game doesn't test your reflexes, it tests your patience, your sense of humour, and your ability to laugh at your own misery. It's all about navigating those branching paths, trying to figure out what'll kill you least painfully. Spoiler, none of them. But what really stands out is writing. Each choice you make is met with a sarcastic, biting comment from the narrator, who seems to take immense pleasure in your suffering. Accidentally picked wrong option? Oh, well done, genius. Trying to play it safe? Brilliant. You're boring and dead. It's a masterclass in comedic writing that keeps you engaged, even as games essentially roasting you for existing. Now let's talk about progression, or rather, illusionary. There's no XP to grind, or gear to upgrade, and no bloody clue as to whether you're getting closer to escaping. Game thrives on chaos and unpredictability. But its kicker, you want to keep playing. Every failure teaches you something new, mostly that you're an idiot, but also what not to do next time. It's addictive, in that just one more death kind of way. Replayability? Now it's got that in spades. Branching paths and endless death scenarios mean you'll be coming back to see how else the game can humiliate you. Plus there's a weird sense of accomplishment when you finally manage to stumble in a slightly better outcome. It's gaming equivalent to winning an argument with your boss. Rare, satisfying, and short-lived. Now let's move on to Darkroom's audio, because if there's one thing this game absolutely nails, it's making sure every insult hits you like a brick in face. From the moment you start, audio grabs you by ears and don't let go. And yeah, I mean that quite literally, as narrator's booming voice practically drags you into abyss. Let's start with star at show. Narrator. John Robertson's voice acting is no short of masterful. It's loud, it's aggressive, and it's dripping with sarcasm and disdain. Every insult, every snide remark, every gleeful clackle as you screw up is delivered with such conviction that you almost feel like you've disappointed a particularly angry headmaster. But here's the thing, it's bloody hilarious. Robertson's timing's impeccable, and his ability to switch between mocking, menacing, and outright unhinged keeps you on edge the entire time. Script don't pull any punches either. Game's dark humour is amplified tenfold by delivery. Lines like, "Oh, you think that were a good choice? Brilliant. Now you're dead and stupid." Won't land half as well without that booming voice and razor-sharp delivery. It's the kind of performance that keeps you coming back for more abuse, just to hear what he'll say next. Now, soundtrack. or lack of one is another clever design choice. There's no sweeping orchestral score or overly dramatic music here. Instead, game uses silence and ambient sounds to its advantage. That oppressive void is made even more unsettling by quiet moments, broken only by narrator's voice or occasional sound effect. It's minimalistic, but it works. You feel trapped, isolated, and entirely at mercy at game, which is exactly what it's going for. Sound effects themselves are sparse but effective, whether it's ominous buzz at dark room itself, subtle creak as something you can't see, or sharp thud of your inevitable death. Everything's designed to put you on edge. Audio design isn't there to overwhelm you, it's there to mess with you, and it does it brilliantly. One thing worth noting is audio quality is top notch. Voice acting's crystal clear, effects are well mixed, and there's never a moment where you're straining to your role. So polished to perfection, which makes insults sting even more. In short, audio in Dark Room is more than just sound, it's an integral part of experience. Narrator's voice carries game, turning what could have been a simple text-based adventure into an unforgettable comedic roast. It's not just good, it's essential. Let's talk performance and technical aspects. Does Dark Room run as smoothly as narrator's insults, or does it crumble under weight to its own sadistic brilliance? Spoiler, this game's performance is as solid as its commitment to roasting you. First off, let's address basics. Dark Room's not exactly a hardware hog. You could probably run this game on a potato, and it'd still berate you for terrible choices. It's lightweight, efficient, and runs flawlessly even on older systems. No frame drops, no crashes, no bizarre glitches, just pure unadulterated abuse. Honestly, I'm surprised it doesn't intentionally crash just to laugh at you for thinking it wouldn't. Load times are practically non-existent. You're not sitting around waiting for some cinematic masterpiece to load. You're straight into void, ready to make bad decisions within seconds. Game's minimalist design means it doesn't have to juggle complex assets or fancy effects, and it shows in how smooth and reliable it is. Now, bugs, or rather, lack of them. This game's polished to a shine. You'd think something so cruel would find joy in randomly crashing or breaking mid-run just to mess with you. But no. It's almost annoyingly stable. Developers clearly knew what they were doing, which is more than I can say for a lot of modern AAA games that can barely make it out of early access without falling apart at seams. Looking at you, Black Ops 6. Speaking of developers, let's give them some credit. Dark Room's a passion project, and it shows. They've clearly put a lot of care into making sure the game runs as smooth as it is brutal, and that's something you don't see often enough in industry. One more thing to note, this game's practically made for streaming. It's lightweight, doesn't demand a top-at-line rig, and it's a fantastic way to entertain an audience as to watch you get roasted alive. Whether you're a content creator or just someone looking to share misery with your mates, Dark Room performs flawlessly in that setting. Right, time for final verdict. Who it's Dark Room for, and should you even bother subjecting yourself to this digital gauntlet of insults, humiliation and death? Let's break it down. First off, if you're kind of gamer who lives for flashy graphics, complex mechanics, or big budget cinematic experiences, this game isn't just not for you, it's actively mocking your existence. This is a game that thrives on its simplicity. It's a throwback to text-based adventures, but with a modern sadistic twist. If you need explosions and ray tracing to have a good time, go play something else and let Dark Room roast you on the way out. But if you got a sense of humour darker than blackout during an horror movie, this game's right up your alley. Real star here is writing and narration. John Robertson's performance is no short of genius. Insults are sharp, humour's relentless, and absurdity keeps you coming back for more punishment. You don't play this game to win, you play it to see how creatively it can ruin your day. And somehow, it's endlessly entertaining. Let's look at pros and cons. Pros. Hilarious narration and writing that'll have you laughing and crying simultaneously. Simple but effective gameplay that's surprisingly addictive. Perfect for fans of dark comedy, masochists, and anyone who enjoys a good roast. Lightweight and runs flawlessly on any system, even a toaster. High replay value with endless ways to die and be insulted. Cons. Minimalist visuals won't appeal to everyone. No handholding whatsoever, this game delights in your suffering. Not for those who take gaming too seriously or lack a sense of humour. So who should play this game? Fans of indie games, text-based adventures, or dark comedy are gonna love this. It's also perfect for streamers or anyone who enjoys sharing pain with audience. Casual players looking for a laugh? Dive right in. But if you're the sort of person who complains about every death in Dark Souls, you might want to give this one a miss. This game isn't just unforgiving, it's actively antagonistic. Personally, I'd never heard of Dark Room until I stumbled across a TikTok John Robertson roasting Halo. I went down a rabbit hole, watched his live shows, and thought, yep, this bloke gets it. After playing the game, I can't wait to experience Real Thing live, though I fully expect to die there too. Final score? Honestly, it's hard to pin down because it's less a game, more an experience. But if I had to, I'd give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's unique, it's hilarious, unapologetically brutal. It's not for everyone, but for a great audience, it's an absolute gem. And there you have it, folks. Dark Room's a game that doesn't just break fourth wall, smashes it to pieces and laughs in your face while doing it. It's brutal, hilarious, and unlike all else you'll play this year. But before you go running off to either buy a game or cry in a corner, let me hit you with usual spiel. Support channel by smashing the like button, hit subscribe and leave your comments and questions below. Did you survive Dark Room? Or more realistically, how many times did you die before rage quitting? Let me know. Don't forget you can join Discord, it's where all banter happens, and you're guaranteed to find someone who's died even more than you. And for those who want to keep up with my rants and reviews, follow me on Twitter. Also consider becoming a member. Memberships give you access to exclusive perks, behind the scenes chaos, and a direct line to me when I'm not busy yelling at my screen. Links are in the description. Go check it out. I'll see you in the next video, you magnificent.